Hello guys, my name is Emara Obazi Yakua, and in this guide you will learn how to calculate your CGPA in University of Ibadan Postgraduate School. Alright, so I won't waste much of our time, let's just get straight into the video. So right here is your weighted percentage score and the respective points. Okay, so if you score within this range in your course, this is the points that follow suit. Okay, so to calculate your CGPA you need to note this. All right, now University of Ibadan, there are four grade classifications. All right, and the first is the Ph.D grade, which all of us want to make, and that falls between 5.0 to 7.0 range. There's the 4.0 to 4.9 range, there's the 3.0 to 3.9 range, and there's the 1.0 to 2.9 range, which is also known as the terminal master. Okay, so the one above is M.Phil and M.Phil PhD. So if you fall under 5.0 to 7.0 range, you can go ahead to do your PhD without having to do an M.Phil. All right, but if you fall under the 4.0 to 4.9 range, you need to do an M.Phil program before you now advance to your PhD. Okay, so you do a session of M.Phil, then you write a conversion exam and you do your PhD. However, for the M.Phil grade, which is 3.0 to 3.9, you have to do a full M.Phil, which will be for about 3 semesters. Okay, for about 3 semesters, and until then can you advance for your PhD. Then for terminal masters 1.0 to 1.29, that's just nobody wants to be in this grade, so you cannot advance for your PhD with this particular grade. So this next step will teach you how to calculate your CGPA. Okay, so assuming these are your courses, you have 10 courses right here. Okay, and you have your project, which is usually 6 units. Okay, this is the units for the course. Okay, so let's say in the first course you had 70, which is 7 points. Remember the point here. Okay, so you write the points down, you write the unit of the course. I think you can find the unit of your course in your course form, the course registration form. Okay, so once you get all your score, all right, you write the respective points for the score. Remember I made mention above. Okay, so once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is to multiply the points by the course units, and it's going to give you your average score right here. Okay, so once you have your average score, you see 7 times 2 is 14. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18, 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. So once you've calculated each average score, then you sum it up, which is 141 for this example, and for the unit you sum it up to, which is 30. Remember your project is 6 units. Okay, and if you have 7 points in your project, 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, so it's very important that you ace your project, you put in your best to ensure that your project and dissertation or dissertation you do well and get 7 points. Okay, so right here, this is just me explaining the steps. Okay, so once you've done that, then your CGPA, to calculate your CGPA, it will be the total average score divided by the total course units. That's the sum of this average score here, you divide it by the sum. So once you've done that, you are going to get your CGPA here, and you know the class of grade that you fall under. Okay, and for this example, this is M.P.H grade. So if anybody falls within this grade, the person will have to pick an M.P.H form if they plan to advance for the PhD studies. Also in UI, University of Ibadan, if you are going from one department to another department, even if you finish with a PhD grade that is 5.0 and above, you might still have to do M.Phil PhD. That's if you are going from a department to another. But if you are still within your department and you finish with a PhD grade, you might not need to do an M.Phil program before getting converted for PhD. So you might want to ask what's the difference between M.Phil, ordinary M.Phil, and M.Phil PhD. Okay, so this ordinary M.Phil, it means you are going to like spend 2 sessions. Okay, you're going to spend 2 sessions, but for M.Phil PhD, you're just going to be spending a session, all right, before doing the conversion exam. Okay, I stand to be corrected. This is just the information I have. For proper information, you can just seek the advice of the PG school. Go to the PG school and get adequate information. But to the best of my knowledge, this information is valid. Okay, so thank you very much for staying with me. I hope this guide helps you, and I wish you the best in your academic journey. Have a nice time.